This afternoon you're talking to the guys? Wow, that ought to be fun.
Yeah, it's almost as much fun as setting up this contraption. Hey, everybody, my name is Tom Jones, Pharmacist, and some of you know me. Most of you do, but for the ones who don't know me, I am a pharmacist. And you are on Tom Jones Pharmacist, an informative show that talks about health and wellness and the different paths that we take in life. We do it every day. We have fun every day. It's like Panicsville. I just finished this presentation 9 minutes ago. So it's out into, oh, Ann said she finished it. So this is completely live and in person. It's our setup. So we come and get in our little studio. This is absolutely a phenomenal type situation because you get this the first in the world and you get it live. There's no better way. Even Twitter doesn't do better than that because you get it when the moment it's spoken and you become the knowledge base for America and for all the world because Facebook Live goes around the world. Tom Jones Pharmacist is a program, is part 2 of the Tom Jones Network program. And it's actually Today with Tom. That's early in the morning or sometimes it's middle of the day. And then you have Tom Jones Pharmacist, and that's later in the day. And today will mark the first part of a fantastic series, and most people don't even know that this exists. And it's absolutely something that all of us encounter if we live long enough. And last week we went over menopause. Menopause, which every woman in the world will go through some sort of menopause if they live long enough. And every guy, if you're going to make it in life, you go through something called andropause. And is it real or is it make-believe? So, Ann, what do you think?
I think it's real.
Uh-oh. Oh, I think that may be a reflection on me. Interesting. Okay, everybody, let's dig in. We're going to talk about andropause, and we're going to talk about, hey, have you heard this term? Number 2, is it real or is it make-believe? And I know that you've heard the old joke that says, hey, he's having a midlife crisis. He's buying this new car. He's running around he's looking at all the skirts that come by. Well, wait a minute. Is it really real or is it just another phase in your life? Well, got news for you. We're going to find out, and we're going to find out all about it this week because we got 5 parts. Let's see. Today's number 1, tomorrow 2, Wednesday 3, Thursday 4. And we conclude with the 5th program on Friday. And again, this is brand new stuff. We've never done it before. We're actually going to teach you everything that you know about andropause and more. What do you do? How do you come about it? And what are the options? So if you want to know, let us know. Give us the questions. We'll give you the answers, or we'll make darn sure we find out the answers. Okay, all right. What's this term called andropause anyway? It's male menopause or hypogonadism, or it can be called low T. But guess what? It's not just testosterone. It's the whole gamut. Menopause is not just estrogen. Menopause is a whole conglomerate of things. Andropause is the same way. I want to tell you that it is real, and we're going to discuss what the heck you do and how do you come about making this something that you can tolerate if you're a guy, and if you're a lady, live with or be around or survive with. All right. What's the real difference between menopause and andropause? It's one simple thing. How many times have you heard guys talking about this kind of stuff? Wait a minute, I'm listening. No, guys don't talk about it. But ladies will tell you everything that relates to symptomatology. Symptoms are what make up andropause. And there's a big difference between men and women as far as menopause and andropause. Women get full-blown into it. Well, it's a build-up process, but you as a lady will know it quicker than a guy who is not really concerned about. They don't even like to go to the doctors. So it's really a gender-type situation. Guys don't realize all the situations that occur. Ladies have specific things that they are taught by their mothers to look out for. Guys, the dads ain't going to tell you about the stuff that goes on that deals with andropause. It just won't happen. So here we've got a whole difference. The decrease in certain functions in the body is gradual with the guys. It's more all at once with the ladies. So if you put on that 5, 10, 15 extra pounds in the belly, it's not a fast thing. You can do it if you absolutely do nothing, but the guy who's been active in the 20s and 30s, all of a sudden it kind of hits because the belly fat starts building, and then the process starts building at the same time. Because, all right, let's go over to one little aspect about hormones. Estrogen deposits in fat tissue. I want you to take that away with you today. That's important because, all right, if estrogen deposits in fat tissue, what happens? I bet you didn't realize that as a male, you have estrogen. Nope, I didn't say anything about high voices and acting kind of funny. I'm talking about real pharmacology and physiology. I'm talking about the deposit of estrogen into the cell of the body is not all that good for guys because it has to come from somewhere. There's conversion in the cells in the body from good hormones per se to some that aren't as good. So if estrogen is produced, then testosterone and DHEA probably are reduced. So therefore, it's all about what is in the guy's body. Remember that key point. Balance is key. As we talked about last week in hormonal practice, you want to always be balanced. You want to have the right physiological amount of each in the body. This is pretty elementary. If you want to have less risk of cardiovascular disease and of all the diseases that go along, diabetes and circulation and every aspect, high blood pressure, you want to keep your weight under control. The 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds overweight that you have in your body plays a major, major role in how the body functions. Okay, case in point, 10, 15, 20 pounds of extra fat, adipose tissue in the belly is going to raise estrogen level in guys. It's probably going to take away from testosterone. I didn't say it's emphatically, but let's go about the psychology of that. Adipose tissue, a little belly fat, and all guys, I mean, you can work out, you can do your best to keep in shape, but those extra pounds add up. And as we get older, And we do get older. If we stay around this world, we will be around and will have the ability to put on the extra weight. Extra weight is not good for the guy, because if you don't burn the calories that you normally would consume, they're going to actually stay with your body. And if you deposit estrogen in adipose tissue, then that's going to take away from other hormones. So, beginning about 35, you lose about 1% of your testosterone yearly. That's just the way it kind of works out to be. So, again, this is slow. This is a slow process. It may be to 40 to 45 before you really notice that you've actually put on those 5 pounds, and you won't probably be as active as you were in the 20s. Look at basketball players. Look at baseball players. Look at football players. They all, in later life, unless they're very, very, very active, will put on some extra weight. And again, it's just the way things work. So you cannot exercise. You want to keep your body in great, great physical shape. You want to eat right. You want to do the things that will make you healthier. So the way the body works, that's just how it is. So in men, the testosterone that you have will convert to estrogen and to DHT, which is another hormone, and that actually is associated with male pattern baldness and an increase of girth around the body's torso. So therefore, that is not going to be a plus. So the dynamics is, we as guys want to have the best hormonal balance that we can have. And that goes back to the 20s and 30s, because we have more energy, we do more things, we're more active, we just do things better. That's why the military has people in the teens, late teens, 20s and 30s. It's just they are more active and they're better people, not because of the age, but because their body works better. So in Andropause, it kind of works the same way. And here's some of the things that you're going to kind of notice with the body. You're going to notice when you don't have as much energy, you will run into a few little things like general weakness, increased fatigue, erectile dysfunction. That'll catch your attention right doggone quick. Decreased libido. Interesting, all right? Depression a lot of times occurs in the late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, etc. Loss of muscle mass. Again, it's where the weight is accumulating. And weight gain, which is that dreaded belly fat. All of those will play a role in how the guy feels and everything. And by the way, Mary Hodges Leggett, thank you for joining in. I see that you're online. And just pop in. Let us know who you are. But the guy is the one who will, if you notice, less activity is not a good sign. Laying around watching television and consuming food and beverages when you used to be really, really, really energetic, and you really used to have lots and lots of fun, and you were on the go 24/7, but life kind of changes. I'm not saying that's all bad. It's really, you got to balance life too. When you notice this symptomatology occurring, these symptoms of, and what I'm just talking about is the inactivity, the general lack of interest, the things that go along with getting older, then you want to be the person who is the advocate for taking action. And ladies, a lot of times, I know over the years, the people who actually come in and want to know for their husbands or significant others, the ladies kind of take the ball and run with it, particularly to help the guy. We need all the help we can get because we are proud individuals. We want to be the one. We want to be the one who's really, really on the go. So if you notice that little hesitation or lack of motivation, a little maybe depression, as we get into not as good a shape as we used to be. And staying in shape is really, really important. It's important for a lot of different things with the body, and particularly in andropause. So that's one of the first signs that you want to actually be aware of. So, all right, what would you do in this situation? All right, number one, you want to take action, and you want to develop a strategy. And I'm not really kind of talking about, I want you to think in your mind, what would you do if your brother or your father or your husband or your boyfriend had a change of outlook on life all of a sudden, and they weren't as active, and they're laying around and they're moping, what I call the moping effect. They're not like they used to be. Well, first thing you do is get in touch with somebody. Well, sit down and talk to that individual. Well, you definitely want to sit down and talk to them. If they are hesitant, then you want to maybe take a little action yourself. And this is something that's really, really key important, because there's some great things that you can absolutely do that would help you in this situation. So, they can go to their doctor. They can get in touch with someone who's been trained in andropause and male menopause, like myself. You can get into a healthcare professional that's trained or that have had other clients that basically have been in this situation. And you figure out a strategy. You figure out a process. You can have them go to their doctor. You can have them go to their medical practitioner, go to their DO, but have a strategy, because you really kind of need several things done. Number one, you need a complete checkup. I mean, it could be something other than what we're talking about here. You need an advocate and a physical exam. Then you'll probably need some blood test or saliva test. Saliva is excellent for determining testosterone levels and estrogen levels. Blood test is good for determining all of these efforts. You probably will need some DHEA. You could need the vitamin D3. You could do a thyroid. You'd want to do the free T4, the free T3, the TSH, the bound T4, the bound T3. You want to probably do a TPO, which is for inflammation, and you could do an adrenal stress index saliva test. And that's a circadian test with saliva that will actually tell where the cortisol levels are during that day's process. So morning, noon, evening, bedtime. You want to know where the stress is, because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, life is stressful, and adrenal stress can be a detrimental and can have a devastating effect on the body. So if you're putting on the extra weight, if you don't feel good, if you just feel run down, you don't want to do what you've been able to do for the last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years. So that's a little warning. So what do you want to have accomplished here? Two things that you really want to find out where the testosterone levels are. The thyroid, you want to find out about the thyroid. You want to find out about the adrenals. You want to find out about the D3. Is there any other symptoms that are giving the individual major problems? So have they been in an accident? Have they had a major trauma in their life? And that has a major effect also on how you feel. Emotions, have they lost a loved one? Have they just recently had a divorce? Has something happened? Are they empty nesters? A lot of aspects play here, and you want to cover all of the arenas because one size does not fit all. It's a process whereby you want to come up with what's going on in the body. So, all right, after you've done all this, then you want to be able to talk to your practitioner. And I personally do consulting, I do coaching, I do education. So you want an educator. You want somebody who will educate you and give you advice, because all the things we're talking about are mostly prescription only. So this is something that is not conceived as being a standard medical type situation. There are lots of variables here. But the first thing that's obvious is the individual is not as aggressive, or they've got the depression, or they just got the extra weight. Maybe they're just wanting to make sure that they have a great wellness program going. Again, have the right resources. You become the educated individual, whether you're the individual. If you're the guy, you want to know what is going on. How do I need to accomplish all the aspects of preparing myself for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Because it's a pretty easy fix. It absolutely is a pretty easy fix. You want to have the right practitioner. You want to have the right recommendations. You want to have the right everything. And once you have these recommendations, and you actually may even want to find out if it's the 15 to 20 pounds that you put on. You might even there's a little test that you can do, the SHBG, which is a sex hormone binding globulin. So these are all tests that you can have done for you that will give you answers to the little puzzle that you're running into. And again, it is all about developing that strategy that will help you in the situation like this. The symptoms need to be alleviated. The symptoms can be taken care of. And once you've got the symptoms taken care of, the weight will come off. Absolutely, it will. The fatigue will go away. You will be energized again to feel like you used to feel. And being energized is the name of the game. If you have energy and you go 16 hours, well, anywhere from 8 to 10 to 12 to 16 hours a day, and you get the adequate rest at night, and you do need adequate rest, all of this will go away, and your life will be back to normal. So sometimes you actually will need to consider hormone therapy. And there's been a lot of controversy in the last couple of years about problems with some of the people who have used testosterone. But guess what? They haven't been looking at the second part of the puzzle. The second part of the puzzle is, hey, how are the other hormones in your body? In menopause, we look at all hormones for women. So doesn't it make sense that you look for all the hormones with the guy? We are a body that is very complex. All the parts and all the actions and all the systems have to work effectively. If they don't, then the balance is off. You would not feel as good as you did. So some of the studies that we've looked at, that I've actually personally looked at in the last 2 to 3 years, has shown that there's one key thing that a lot of practitioners are missing. And, you know, that is staggering. That is absolutely staggering, because if you look at it, then part of the puzzle is answered. In my viewpoint, That's only my personal assumption and understanding. But I've been working around with this for the last 25 years. So when you don't look at all the parts, if you've got a car and you forgot to put on the wheels, it doesn't go too far. You need every part functioning properly, including the wheels, the tires. If that doesn't work, you will have a problem with the system. So, in conclusion, I find that there's some conflicts in what all of the so-called experts are saying about testosterone. Is it really what they are thinking that it is? I think not. But that's, again, my opinion. So that's my opinion only. In conclusion, I'm going to make a strong recommendation to you. Number one, if you're the guy, take a step back, take a little look. What's gone on the last 2, 3, 4 years of your life? Is there that traumatic experience that's occurred? Have you put on the extra poundage? Have you gotten a little bit out of shape? Do you not feel as good as you used to do? Is your ancestry, your mother, father, grandfather, grandmothers, did they have certain things that came up later in life? And you really need to take a great look at that, and don't go about it just haphazardly. You be the advocate yourself. You are the individual who can make the changes. And if you are informed, and that's what we try to do on this program, Tom Jones Pharmacist, we try to inform you. And today with Tom, that's where we give you the tips of things that could be done. If you feel that you need support, we're going to be here for you, and we're going to give you the answers as we see it. We don't know everything, but there again, if you know more about yourself than anybody else, then you need to be able to fill in the blanks and come up with the right conclusion. It's an easy fix if you do it right. It's not a great fix if you don't do it right. You can change your life and get out of the rut if that's what you've developed your life into, and it's not your fault. It's absolutely not your fault. It is life. Well, we just finished writing this presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. Part 2 tomorrow. We're going to take this trip and turn it into the journey down the road, learning if andropause is a really true condition, and can you do anything about it? My name is Tom Jones. I'm the pharmacist. I love being here. I love teaching. I love educating. I love coaching. I love consulting. And you've been here in Raleigh, North Carolina, where we did Facebook Live, and we did it. We finished the program just a couple minutes before we went on the air, and you know what? I think we have got it right. How about you, Ann? Oh, I did wake you up, didn't I? Did I wake you up just a second ago?
And I was enjoying that. I love to learn about men and all the things that they have going on.
Oh, okay.
We don't want to have all the fun, we women. But anyway, bye, Tom. We'll see you tomorrow.
That was my producer. She keeps me straight. My name is Tom Jones, and I'm out of here, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.